is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. And you guys are piling in bright and early today. We got Alan House. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Bill, David, Doug. Good morning to Fabrice. We got Jay, Joe, Kevin Stone rocking with us. Good morning to Miguel. Mike is good morning. We got Randy in the house. Rock is doing a rock fullwood. Good morning to Win. Woo. All my peeps on YouTube land. Good morning to all you guys. We got Richard Jet. Good morning to Enzo. Peaceful Paranormas. Yeah. Good morning to you. We got Honey Roy in the house. Good morning to you as well. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. That's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit the share button if you would like to do so. That'd be fantastic. Let's see. We had GDP come in this morning. Let's see how the market reacted. Kind of not a huge reaction one direction or the other. But the GDP came in lighter than it was supposed to, was estimated. The market kind of, again, first initial reaction, a little jump around, okay, kind of bearish, but didn't really drop. And then we started going bullish on it. Why I think that's a little bit more bearish than bullish. That miss is mainly because of the Warren Buffett indicator. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it or seen it, but that measures the stock, the S&P ratio compared to the GDP. So if the market's going to go higher, you want that GDP to go higher to kind of not be such a big number, which already is like 87% or something crazy. So it's already pretty ginormous already, which that indicator kind of tells you. Again, use indicators how you want to, but it does tell you that you're a little bit overbought. And then we're seeing GDP actually drop, which is not great. Again, not a huge reaction today, but just something to keep aware of. We did have pretty much everything in February in terms of inflation data was a miss. It wasn't great. Now you got GDP's coming in, was slightly under. Just some little bit of warning signs. That's about it. But otherwise, in terms of the market, let's see where we're actually opening today. We got the SPY is right at VPOC from yesterday. So I don't know where we open, but right where we're at now is going to be key. So we want to see if we get, let's say, above 505.72. And let's see if we start opening below 505.69. The little penny spread in the middle, I'll sit out and just kind of watch it. But right now, it looks like it is dipping underneath that. That should be now our resistance. And we'll see how it plays out. Again, yesterday we did pull back a little bit harder than we wanted to. The bulls were still there. They bought this thing right back up. We got to close right into the day before's VPOC, so that's a good resistance. This is telling me that we are rejecting it. This is our third day in a row of VPOCs falling. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. We gotta get above this 505.70 zone. That would be our hope, that this is all just a pullback. This is just a little bit of a hammer. Otherwise, not a real volume zone down here. But back on February, the Thursday, the 22nd, we did open up around 504, so at least I think there'd be a little support there, I would assume. I don't really have any real volume or any reason it should hang out there, but my next target to the downside is roughly about 501.77. We do have a few levels now of some resistance in the way, so in a risk to reward basis, yeah, going bearish at this point could make a little bit of sense, but we're still chopping a little bit, and we'll see where this thing wants to actually open up. Yeah, beyond, I saw that one go crazy. We got Qs. Yeah, if you guys have any tickers, feel free to throw those into the chat. We'll take a look at as many as humanly possible. Kevin wants First Solar. All right. We got the Qs. Still inside day from yesterday. The bulls did buy it up from here. Again, if we're using nothing other than just risk to reward on trade, we are at one little level of support now. We still have 25 minutes till this thing goes ding, ding, ding. Throwing a stop under yesterday or even under the close of yesterday if you're trying to play the Qs. That could make sense. A decent support resistance that we threw in somewhere up at 437.45. So that would be my kind of my targets to the higher side today. If we do make some kind of a bounce, probably stall out a little bit there, and then whether we could break through or not is a whole different thing. But I think it's going to be a tough level to break through. I will say that. To the downside, if we start to lose this level, and right now again we're right at that little support. The next little spot down on the Qs takes me to 433.90. So still a little bit of room to the downside because this is an inside candle and because we have that support there. I think we do get some kind of a bounce at open. I don't know how far we run. That could be into like the 436.50. Maybe we could get into like 437 somewhere, but see if the Bulls want to hang in there. They did do it yesterday. See if we want to do something that looks a little bit similar to this, where we get that kind of a bounce up and maybe that roll comes in a little bit later in the day. I'd be hard pressed to see this market open and we just flush out of here. Again, I wasn't really a big fan of the GDP. I think that was a pretty important miss, to be honest, but it is just one report, and we'll have to kind of see how the market wants to digest things because we did recover from not so great inflation numbers too. TLT, good breakout 2 days ago or 3 days ago. 2 days ago, a little bit of a pullback. So this right now still was a little bit iffy, but this could be your retest. We are at least above yesterday's VPOC on this one. And we're at a little tiny resistance, so maybe chop at the open. Hopefully we could hang on to the level of 92.98, and then we'll see if we get a pump to like 93.22. So probably not too much, but we were still hanging inside that bullish candle. So far so good. Just assuming there's a little retest on that one. First Solar. I believe they had earnings yesterday, so a little surprise beat on earnings per share, but they did miss on revenue by 155 million. Pretty interesting gap and go though. So we did have I'm going to attribute a lot of that volume to the earnings yesterday. I would also say on this candle, even though it is a red one and it should look like a gap and go, the sentiment here was bullish at open. I think this is some profit taking down here. So I think we're kind of playing off this one. We are at a decent level of resistance. I don't think this is a huge fade, but I do think we fade at open on this one. Probably into. So if you're trying to go long, I would look to see what happens around 149.40. Otherwise, if you do get some kind of a inverted hammer or something that pierces through like 152.34 and you want to take a shot to the retest of this one, I think there is some money to be made on this. I don't think we get back down to 145.69 today. I don't even think we get to 146.78. So I think this level here is going to be decent to hold. There's 149.23. If I'm playing my short side of things, that's probably where I want to lean to. But I think this is a fade at open, maybe a buy. Longer term, let's see. I think we're fairly low on First Solar. We're definitely not at all-time highs. Yeah, we got a decent little longer term support down here. So if you do like First Solar, it's not a horrible spot to look to buy. We are consolidating a little bit. And then obviously we start losing levels like 132.11. Then it gets a little bit scary for First Solar, and have some protective puts if you are trying to bail on the play. But what was the high of this one? It was like 280. The high was like 230. So you got about $90 to the high if we could get back up there. Might take a just like the rate cut. It might take longer than you think, but it could happen. Could happen. And also we are in election year too, so depending on how those polls come out each and every stupid week and day that they come out, and like, all right, this person is starting to win. Like, how do you get that? Well, we surveyed 10 people, but I would imagine this would lean a little bit to I just got a wild email. A little bit to the Democratic side if that would be the case, and then you probably see a further rally to that. All right, we got a Netflix, NFLX. We got a lot of, I know you crypto heads are coming out strong today. I see those requests. Don't worry, we'll get there. Keep cool, my babies. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, we got Netflix. Not really doing too much this morning, so it is a little bit of a gap and go to the bearish side of things. Still inside day, so that's going to take a lot of edge out of any real day trade. I almost prefer this thing runs up a little bit. We look to short at 601.31. Miguel doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk Bitcoin. Oh, where's that? We're definitely talking some Bitcoin. We got you're still on your $2 miss, huh? All right, we got 591.49. That would be my support if we could drop a little bit lower, but look for this thing to, I think this one tries to fade higher first. You're at a little bit of support. See if this one wants to fade higher. Look for some kind of shorting opportunity a little bit higher, as close to 601 as possible. But that's how I look to play, because it is a little bit bearish sentiment today coming in from yesterday, but we just hit 52-week highs yesterday. It's not going to be the strongest move. And I think good support down here, 591 for right now. All right, you guys want to do it? You guys want to take a look? You want to take a look at coin? No. We're gonna go beyond. I'm gonna make you guys wait. Because there's some value to having patience. There's some value to having some patience. We're gonna wait. All right, we got the gap up on beyond. I mean, they beat expectations in terms of revenue, so that's good. That's good. Good double bottom on this one. We looked at this one yesterday. It was like a 38% short float. So massive short float on this thing. You are entering a big volume area in terms of resistance up here. So watch out for that heavy volume zone. There wasn't much in there. And then you also have a 38% short float. You're going to get these big moves, big squeezes. I think this is one of those big squeezes, but all that resistance in there. I hate to play against a short squeeze. So I'd want this thing to kind of come down a little bit, maybe into the levels of like $10.39. I probably won't take a short on it, but I'm not going to take the long either on it. I'm probably going to stay away from this one, just knowing that we are into that heavier resistance zone. Lots of bag holders. We spent from September 22 to August 23. So almost a full year just chopping sideways on this thing before it broke down. I would imagine we're starting to get up to a level where some people who were like, double bottom, it's too low, it's going to go higher, could actually get out for less of a loss or break even. So I think this is, if anything, probably, I think, a fade opportunity. This one probably comes down, at least retraces. I don't know what happens after that, but the report wasn't tremendous. It wasn't great. I don't know what their guidance was, but the report wasn't terrific. But you are getting that little squeeze, and that makes sense with very little volume. All right, we'll get to it. BTC, I know. I was getting text this morning. Bitcoin's at 60,000. I'm like, yeah. Where are you gonna spend your Bitcoins at? Go ahead, try to go get a tank of gas and spend some Bitcoins on that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Bitcoin, nice little run. Looks like it's still bullish. 60,426. I believe this is no, 64,000, I think, was the all-time high. Yeah. We got a little bit more to go. This is a monthly chart. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row. I think I could safely take a stab at the wave count on this one on a monthly and go, this is a 1, this is a 2. I think we are into a 3. We do have some heavy resistance coming, so I don't know. Maybe we break out. We got the the halvening coming in April. So I think there's still some excitement. I think these are levels that probably can get bought up. I think we have, in terms of the marketplace for crypto. I think in terms of the marketplace for the crypto, today is different than back here, right? We've had a lot more time for government regulations in crypto. We've already had a few exchanges blow up in our face. We had Sam Bankman-Fried We had a lot going on. We now have some ETFs in the market around crypto. None of that really existed here. I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried, he did, but he was living large here. Now he's living a little bit in tighter spaces here. So a little bit different, but there is some more openings, some more opportunities. You got the halving coming in April for Bitcoin, and I think that will continue to be some bullish catalyst. So I this is a clear double top. We do have resistance. This is a wave three. So my two options on this one, and then I'll go with what I think happens. I think this is our one, a two. This is I think is our three. We could potentially stall out here for wave four, and then we get that pullback here. I could see that happening. I think with just the difference in how crypto is perceived from today to back here, that could be enough. And I think that people are still under invested into the crypto space that are still looking to get in. Um, I think we probably take this route. We make a new higher high to some extent. Not sure how far we go. Then I think we probably use this as our support resistance, probably back to here, and then we make that next wave five up. So I think we do this one again. I don't have a crystal ball. I mean, I do, but I got I got it with coupons, so it don't really work. But this is what I think happens. This is a potential as well, but yeah, it's in the shop. It's in the shop right now, so I don't know. But I think the second wave, I think just with the overall conditions of the market, and then we do have the SPY also hitting all-time highs. Everyone's bullish everything. This one I think does have a potential to break all-time highs, and that will land itself on CNBC again, and everyone will be talking, and then you get the fear of missing out type traders coming in. But otherwise, it does look good. Again, if you're trying to get in here, like if you're trying to get in right now as I'm talking, because I'm just hyping everybody up on Bitcoin, your trade on this one is to buy high and sell higher, and that's it. There's not really going to give you a real good entry here unless you get some kind of a pullback. The real entry was during the sideways consolidation, maybe even taking some kind of breakout, 52, 519. You could be Miguel and just come put your order in $2 lower than where it actually got to. For an unfortunate, I just had to, Miguel. I just had to. Miguel says 69K. Yeah, it could take us there. I can see that. It doesn't have to go crazy higher. I mean, we are in wave three, so it's very, very difficult to say how far this wave three goes. But I could see it getting right above that 65 somewhere. So the 69, I think, would make sense. Everyone's kind of bullish on it. They're like, okay, great. They're buying the breakouts. All the noobs jump in. I've seen this over and over and over in the markets. Then you get the pullback. That gives more people opportunity to get in again. And then that's when you get everyone kind of selling and you get a bigger pullback. And then you get filled, Miguel, which is nice. You get filled on that bigger pullback. All right. Trading view showing me 69K all-time high. I don't what was it up there? I don't know. Let me see what I got. I'm not even sure which one of these candles. Probably this one here. So this is 69K was the all-time high. Okay. So yeah. All right. So look to break that. Uh really the resistance is somewhere around this 60, 64, 65K, I think. So we're getting very close into that almost double top. Even this one though was a higher low. I mean, sorry, higher high. So we'll see. All right, let's go to some of the stocks that will move around crypto, since crypto is just nothing but bullish, nothing but net. And Mora, I don't believe this is all-time highs. Nope, it is not all-time highs. The one nice thing on Mora though is you do have all that volume underneath you, so we should be having a decent support down here. Yesterday's candle was red, but the real question is, what was the sentiment on it? And even though it's a red candle, I think sentiment was still pretty bullish around Mara. We did have a good pop, good breakout candle, not breakout, but nice double top. And then we did gap up to a breakout. This is a retest. So even though this is a red candle, I don't think it was selling. I think it was profit taking, and now you got this jump up. So Mara, I actually moved pre-market all these crypto things to the higher end of my list. So I will be watching these. I have no problem taking a Mara trade today, and I think that should be fun. Do we have earnings coming out on this? Wednesday. We have Mara earnings today after hours. Er? Oh, okay. All right. Um, yeah, I don't know where Target's gonna be, but it is still technically inside day. So what I'd like to see is that bell ring. We get a little bit of a pullback. That'd be phenomenal, and then try to go long on it. And with crypto at all-time highs, Mara comes out with earnings tonight after the bell. Uh, I would imagine there's probably some people like, I need in because it could go crazy. Coinbase actually looks a little bit better than Mara just because we are outside of that candle. So if I have to go with either trade and I got zero resistance up here, next real target, the next first target is 221. I mean, that's an $11 move. That might be good enough. Yeah, that's a big move already. Depending on how we have to set the trade up, but I'm gonna move coin up a little bit higher than Mara just because it is gapping outside of that daily range. Trading View doesn't want me to move it, so that's fine. We'll take a look at Hood too, since Hood is another exchange. It does deal with crypto. This one looks like we said yesterday, probably continuation. We got that perfect little retest gap, retested perfectly. I think Hood has the ability to continue if we could get a good bullish trade on Hood. We have pretty much all the volume past us. The last real volume on this thing, at least for my chart, and then it just falls off, but 651. So I don't know, maybe we run into some resistance there after so many green days in a row. But with Coinbase running, Mara running, Bitcoin running, stock market pretty much at all-time highs. It's good to be in the exchange business, and they do have a high short float as well. So I'd probably still continue to look for continuation. I don't have a single reason why I would want to sell shares as of yet on Hood. We'll see. Let's see which other ones did I miss. Urban Outfitters. Look at that little run up. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 candles in a row. This volume again, we do have good volume from the earnings, but I think that was the transactions happening because of earnings. So my next real volume candle is this one, and we are under that plus an additional 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. So this one could get a little bit bearish. We are opening underneath a moving average. I do have a little bit of support. There's a pretty massive gap down, all things considering, but we do have a little bit of support here. Somewhere around 41.97. I'm looking for like 41.38 could be a bounce spot. I'd have to consider those, but we are trapping for sure a lot of people. And then maybe if we could really get a good target, and this one's already been retested once. But my first stop, if I think I could break through that little support, first or next target would be 40.45. We have a moving average coming right there. Again, that one's already been hit though. And that might even give us like a 39.53. So you can see a little bit of sell off. We got that one little zone we got to pass through first though. Matthew says, Miguel, I sold for 5R when I could have held early this morning for 20 Rs. Okay. What's an extra 15 Rs between friends? All right, SMCI is dumping, says Kurt. I think your definition of dumping might be a little different than mine. It is it is down $40. And $40 anywhere else does seem like a lot. Um, but you are still, even with this kind of, actually it's about a $30 dump. Um, you are at one level of support. We did hit this yesterday. It does have the ability to break. This might be an interesting one to continue to short lower at that location. I would love to see it bounce it open. Love to see it bounce it open, run it up into like 848, and then look for that better opportunity to short. Even if we could get a green high wave, I wouldn't mind taking that short here too, even if it's not running to that 848. But give me some kind of green high wave, maybe to the short side. My targets on this one, if it gets kind of ugly, could be about 730. So now that would be a little bit more dumpage. That would be a good 70, $86 from pre-market here. And if we're able to get it higher, that's a massive move to the downside on this one. Kind of playing into this bearish engulfing candle. This was the retest, and I do think that probably 732 could be a viable target on this. And I think the rotation has come out a little bit, at least, from the chips and the AI story. Doesn't mean they're bad companies. Doesn't mean they're not making tons of money. But eventually, people are going to want to take profits. The story cools off, money rotates, and some of this money is running into the Carvanas of the world. I don't know why, but the Beyond Meats of the world and things like that too. So, yeah, Win says SMCI has an $88 average true range. So we're even with a $30 dump, we're about 40% of the way of what that thing could do. Semis are down, ARM and Nvidia. Yeah, they're probably going to be similar to the SMCI kind of setup. You do have a bearish gap and go yesterday on ARM. This is also a little retest, and this is good for our SMCI if we do want to try to short that one higher, and I have no problem doing it. But this is a retest gap, so we have a little bit of support below us, 133.60. If we could get a run up, I would say into probably 138.66, then we could kind of look for a continuation. But I don't think I'd want to short this one right at open. I'd want to be a little patient with it just because it is a retest gap. But that was a gap and go from yesterday, bearish, and looks like it is trying to continue. We got AMD right at that opening price of yesterday. We are opening into a decent support. I would have rather held somewhere at least like 176.40. AMD might be a candidate for a little bit more of a short, quicker at the open. I don't know if this one has as much room to buy up, but we are still at that opening range price. Might as well check on our boy the vids. Wellness check on Nvidia. So far, so good. This would be another one I have to move up higher on my list. Out of all of them, the Nvidia short not only lets me kind of play very quickly to open or at open to short, but just because we're below the 777, so maybe a little high wave there would be great. But this one's also giving me a pretty good range down to 742, so that might be a decent play on Nvidia to the short side of things. Again, it is Nvidia. I don't want to. Trying to remember. It's still Nvidia. Okay. Oof, still Nvidia. Don't be dumb, DJ. Don't be dumb. CLSK. But yeah, it's got good room on the short side of the vids. SLCK. Clean Spark Energy. It is a gap and go bullish. Yesterday was also, even though we sold off, it was, I think, more profit taking. I think this trend probably continues to be bullish. Still inside day. See if this one wants to retest into yesterday's VPOC. So if we could get it close to 2112, that would be a much better spot. But I would still remain a little bit more bullish on this one, which is good. NCLH. NCLH. I'm not going to probably touch this one today for me. That is a big, massive move, but obviously sentiment was bullish. Now all of a sudden we're just like that. We're gapping pretty much at the highs of the day. If you're already in this thing, you have targets to about $21.21. I would love to see a little pullback, maybe 50% retracement of this candle. We were also looking at CCL, Carnival Cruise, as a sympathy, and I kind of like that one. It's got a little bit better range. It hasn't really had that move yet, so that's how I'd be leaning. But everybody in YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure on the way out, you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It's just good for the algorithm, I think. I don't know. That's what they tell me. But, do you. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow.